I see it. Coming here, Hellwind. Sight and blur, black wings. Yod Soth to save me. The three-lobed burning eye. Oh, I didn't see you come in. You keep doing that to me. But now that you're here, welcome to episode 5 of The Inner Sanctum, a dark ambient vlog by yours truly. My name is Joe. You caught me reading Great Tales of Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. And if you don't know H.P. Lovecraft, he was an author, poet who was active during the 1920s and 1930s, and went his entire life of just being completely unsuccessful and struggled with everything in life before his premature death in 1937 at the age of 46. It wasn't until several years after his death that he was really recognized for the genius that he was and the great, amazing characters and the worlds he created. And nowadays, he is, I would have to think, pretty much a household name. And his influence is everywhere. I mean, it's appeared in movies and music, and I guess a lot of you are probably familiar with his, his influence on dark ambient music. But I mean, I can remember the influence of H.P. Lovecraft going back even farther than that. I mean, the first time I can think about it is like on the old Metallica song, The Call of Cthulhu, which was like, 1984? I remember Merciful Fate had some songs about some H.P. Lovecraft characters. But yeah, obviously you Dark Ambient fans are probably mostly familiar with H.P. Lovecraft via the Cryo Chamber collaborations, which they've done like 4 or 5 of in the past couple of years now. And most recently, a label from Italy called Eighth Tower Records, they decided to do a compilation dedicated to H.P. Lovecraft as well. That's what we're going to start today's show off with. Now, if memory serves me, the first time I actually read an H.P. Lovecraft book of short stories was probably about 15 years ago, when I was either in college or shortly out of college. I don't remember what the inspiration was for buying it. I was just curiosity, because I knew he was always regarded as this great, amazing author, or what it was. But I bought a very similar book that was a collection of his short stories, and I remember back then I wasn't really that impressed. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure if it was just like something about his writing style, or maybe I just wasn't in the mood for that kind of writing at that particular point in my life or something. But I don't know. I remember I bought that book and I read through it and thought it was okay, I guess, and then I just sold it right away. And then I kind of forgot about H.P. Lovecraft, legitimately. And it wasn't honestly until Cryo Chamber started releasing their collaborative albums that I really started to think about H.P. Lovecraft. And when they finally released the fourth one in their series, they had a bundle on there. It was like $40 or something like that for all 4 albums. So I was like, I can't resist that. And I bought them, and I love the collaborative albums, these great dark ambient records, just based off of all these stories and certain characters and events and stories. And I loved it. So I had to really know more about these stories, and it inspired this great music. And that led me back to wanting to check out his writings, obviously. So I found that book I showed at a secondhand store for like $6. I snatched it up right away, and for some reason I read it the second time. It just really resonated with me. I don't know what it was, but the stories just really came to life. I absolutely loved them. It was really great. There's a lot of great stories in this. It just really, I don't know. I think maybe because over that time period I had seen more of his influence in heavy metal and dark ambient, really just music in general. I think maybe that's what it was. Maybe the names and stuff were more obvious to me when I read them the second time around. I don't know. But anyway, I'm a really big fan now, and I'm really glad that Cryo Chamber did those compilations, because if they hadn't done those, I don't think I would have even gotten back into his writings, and I probably would not have be talking about the album I'm about to talk about, and I definitely wouldn't have been a part of this album either, because I wouldn't have known anything about H.P. Lovecraft. Let's talk about this album now. Released earlier this year by Italian label Eighth Tower Records is In Tenebris Scriptus, a dark aural tribute to H.P. Lovecraft. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this pretty genuinely, this is a damn awesome album. And I'm not just saying that because a Noctilucant song appears in it. It is a really good tribute album to H.P. Lovecraft, and every song on this album is great. It features artists like Monocube, Corona Barathre, Sonologist, Xerxes the Dark, Moloch Conspiracy, New Risen Throne, as well as a few other artists I'm not even sure I've heard before, but I really enjoyed their contributions to this compilation. I really got to get around to looking them up on Bandcamp and seeing what other stuff they've created, because it's all really great stuff. The compilation opens up with a song from Monocube called Dwelling in Mayhem. And it has this really just kind of haunting, gothic sounding guitar, acoustic guitar, intermingled with various noises and just dark droning atmospheres. It's a really great song. Monarchy was also just a really great artist. I've only so far heard the album on Malignant Records called The Ritual, but it's a great project, highly recommended. Another really great song worth mentioning is Latani Lantiquus, which is by Krona Barathri. And if you don't know Krona Barathri, they're a Russian dark ambient ritualistic project, which normally has themes of like Luciferianism and occult stuff in general. And just everything from this project was really great. I love it. I have several CDs from this band now, and I can't get enough. It's super creepy, super dark. It just usually there's lots of really just great female singing and chanting, just witching vocals, and lots of percussion, just really dark, menacing atmospheres in this music. And this song is no different. It's just a total great song. And I mean, this project does no wrong in my eyes. And actually, I'm going to be talking about them later on in the show, so we'll get back into greater detail with that a little bit later on. Cryptic Realms is the fifth song on this compilation. It comes from Sonologist. Sonologist is a project of Raphael Pezzella from Italy, and he's actually the label boss of Eighth Tower Records. And his contribution in this compilation is a short, noisier kind of sounding track, and with only some lighter textures, but I really like it. It's only a little over 2 minutes, but it's nice kind of midpoint of the compilation. Really fits in nicely. I like it a lot. Xerxes the Dark song is really great. It's about Dagon. It's pretty... again, a little more noisy, but still has some really just dark, droning atmospheres that just really just take you to just really super dark. You know, you can really feel the influence of H.P. Lovecraft in this track. I mean, you can really just, you know, I was actually reading the Dagon story while listening to this compilation, and I got to this particular track, and I really could just feel like those words lifting off the page. I don't know if that makes sense, but I could really just feel, I was just really immersing myself between like the music and the writings. It was a really great feeling. I don't know how to explain it. And then New Risen Throne, which is like one of my absolute favorite dark ambient artists, and an artist I've been following for, gosh, pretty much since the very beginning of his career. I think actually I've been a fan of New Risen Throne. His track was really a surprise. I'm more used to his kind of calm, dark, and somber kind of sounding dark ambient compositions, but here he offers up something with a lot more percussion. It's a lot more bombastic, I guess you could say, and just really a lot more active. Really a nice surprise from New Risen Throne. Really great track. So finally, I'm going to talk about my own contributions to this compilation. I hope that's okay. We know I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care if you like it or not. So I did a song based around the story of the Haunter of the Dark. And if you've never read the Haunter of the Dark, it's basically about this guy named Robert Blake. He goes to this old church in his town. He finds this metal chest, finds this ancient artifact, accidentally unleashes this horrible demon. Then a little bit later on in the story, there's a horrible rainstorm. The power goes out, and this demon gets unleashed, goes to his house, and it kills him. Oops, that sucks. But so anyway, for the song, I made a lot of field recordings of rain. I had lots of wind chimes. Just for some reason, wind chimes felt like they fit in with the story. I don't know why. It really seemed like it was a necessary thing. And I obviously gave him some just dark droning atmospheres and, you know, synthy stuff to put in there. And then towards the end of the song, I have this sort of, I guess it's kind of hokey in retrospect, but this sort of gothic little piano ditty I came up with. This really seemed to work well. I don't know, it sounded very cathedral-like or church-like, and it just felt like it fit in with that like H.P. Lovecraft kind of universe there or whatever, I guess. So that's there at the end, and then finally, the last part of the song is me reading the very last part of the story, which is actually, funny enough, what I opened this episode of The Inner Sanctum with. And yeah, that was how that song went down, and you know, it was a really fun song to create. And when Raphael Pezzella first approached me, I wasn't even sure if I was up for the challenge. I was like, wow, you know, like, can I do this? You know, I felt a lot of pressure for that, but I think I made a pretty cool song. And one person actually emailed me and told me that my song was the best one on the compilation. So I mean, that's awesome. And I mean, it's really amazing. Like, you know, when people do that kind of thing to reach out to you like that. I mean, it really means a lot when, you know. Anyway, So, I have to thank Raphael again for inviting me to the compilation. I mean, it was super amazing when he sent me the invite, and I mean, I don't know what I did to impress him so much, but he invited me, and I came up with something good, and I think so anyway, and yeah, I'm really happy with this song, and it kind of gave me the thought that, like, maybe somewhere down the road I should do more songs based around, like, H.P. Lovecraft, or just, old stories like that in general, so we'll see what happens. So as mentioned in the last episode, I want to make sure that, I'm really showing the album artwork and everything about it really clearly. So here's the front cover of the In Tenebris Scriptus, a dark aural tribute to H.P. Lovecraft. Eighth Tower Records presents. And there's the front cover. Inside. Track listing that are involved. As you can see, I am actually on it. I wasn't bullshitting. And the CD. And behind the CD in the tray card area. And the back cover. Interestingly, there's actually, this is actually the second pressing, because the first pressing, which I actually have over here, has a printing error. As you can see, it says 8th Tower Records instead of 8th Tower. So Raphael sent me another copy just so I had the right one. The compilation is actually limited to only 50 copies, but I'm guessing with the second pressing, maybe there's 100 total now? I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I'm sure over time this will sell out, and like I said, it's a really cool compilation, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it. It's really enjoyable, and if you're into H.P. Lovecraft, I see no reason not to own this, and yeah, I mean, if you're into those crowd chamber compilations, this is just as good, if not better, so definitely check it out. It's a dark aural tribute to H.P. Lovecraft in Tenebris